Hello.
Hi, friends.
Welcome back.
I just was reminded one of the cousins that didn't answer is camping.
That's probably, is that the one that
went straight to voicemail?
Yeah. That'll do it.
I texted TJ and said neither of them answered. He said, I don't blame them. I said, it's not like they knew what was coming.
Right.
Anyway. Yeah, he was going camping because when we did Dirty Santa and I got that chair, he got the chair first. And then I stole it. Because he was like, oh, this works out good. I'm going camping this weekend. I was like, but I do really like that chair. So I'll be taking it.
Bless it.
Anyway,
today we're talking about Nevada.
Nevada. I've been there. I've been to Vegas.
I haven't.
It's pretty. I stole a pen, by the way. It's pretty.
I was wondering if that was one of mine. I was like, I've never seen you use one of those.
Yeah, it's pretty flat and, well, partially flat and red, like clay dirt stuff.
Yeah.
Nevada, not the pen. The pen is neither flat nor red.
Nice.
The pen is round and purple.
Ooh, I like the purple ones the best.
I don't really need it now. I just need it. Anyway.
That is not what I meant to open. I don't know why all of a sudden I have like a cough. But
I'm gonna bust these open.
Croissant? You almost made me drop my croissant.
We got cheese croissants at the Walmarts. Do you eat these cold?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you were going to be like snooty flooty and be like, I'm only going to eat that if it's warmed up.
No.
Do you want one?
Bread is bread.
Hell
I'll have
yes.
one whenever, after I get done telling my first story.
Okay. Ooh, bitch, you don't want them. They're not good. At all.
Kind of smells like a foot.
Man, soak this bitch in butter.
They're already all butter croissants.
I don't give a shit. I'm like Paula Deen over here. Everything's got a stick of butter in it. I cook taco meat with butter.
What the hell?
It's so good.
Oh my God. Get your arteries checked. And then you're talking about in the last episode how you're like, I don't go to the doctor.
My cholesterol is probably like 1 million. Blood sugars through the roof.
I take 2 fish oil every day for my cholesterol.
Blood sugars through the roof. Blood pressures through the roof. I'm waiting. I'm just a cardiac event. Waiting. Chugging energy drinks over here. Daniel's in the house.
Yeah. All right. Constructed in 1876, the Silver Queen Hotel stands as the oldest hotel in Virginia City and is one of the most haunted in the city. The hotel features 28 restored rooms that boast 16-foot high ceilings, and downstairs there is an 1870s saloon-style bar that showcases the building's original brick walls and creaky floors. The hotel is also home to a 15-foot portrait of the Silver Queen, which is adorned with 3,261 silver coins that also were, to symbolize Virginia City's deepest 3,261-foot mine, which the silver coins were made from silver mined in this mine. I found that out after I wrote all of this. Painted by Bob Richards in 1957 of Jerry Eaton, a previous co-owner of the hotel, and she co-owned it with her husband, Carol. The portrait initially flattered Jerry, but apparently these feelings did not last long. Connie Carlson, the current owner, stated, I was there the day she shot herself with a shotgun in 1963. She was trying to get her husband's attention. According to Connie, Jerry's husband was having an affair with a bank teller named Ruby. Of Ruby, Connie said she was after his money. He married her within 6 months, and he died of a heart attack, so she got everything. There are old Silver Queen postcards that depict Carol and Ruby standing in front of the Silver Queen painting. which couldn't have made Jerry, who did survive the shooting incident, very happy. But even though Ruby had sole control over the Silver Queen Hotel for many years, she left the portrait of her husband's ex-wife hanging in the hotel. The hotel also once doubled as a makeshift morgue, keeping the town's dead safe when the ground was too frozen for proper burials. With the arduous mining work in the area, fires, and grisly murders of Virginia City, it is no wonder that there is a heavy atmosphere not just in the city, but in the Silver Queen Hotel, and guests have reported strange happenings for many years. Among the most famous hauntings of the Silver Queen is that of Rosie, who was a lady of the night during the 1800s who took her own life in room 11. She is rumored to make her presence known to male visitors and appears at the top of the staircase or within the confines of her former quarters.
Not a lady of the night, though.
Guests and staff have reported mysterious taps and brief apparitions in any room with a male guest. Once, the room next door, which was room 13, was occupied by Rosie's male friend and business partner, and guests have also reported mysterious occurrences in this room, which suggests that Rosie may not be the only phantom living in this part of the hotel. There is also another spirit named Annie who has also been reported roaming the halls. Little is known about her backstory, but there are sightings and unexplained phenomena that occur that are often attributed to Annie. Both guests and staff have reported experiencing eerie sounds, including loud footsteps on the now carpeted floors, unexplained voices, and the sensation of someone whispering or arguing nearby. There have been doors to open and close of their own volition, with the added creepiness of the knobs wobbling and knocks being heard. On several occasions, guests have approached the front desk thinking that the disturbances were created by another guest, only to find out that they were the only guest on their floor. That's not all, though, as there have also been frequent reports of lights that flicker on and off, orbs being seen in the chapel. It didn't say whether these were photographed or just like seen, and full-bodied apparitions that appear throughout the building.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hitting you with the laws, like as per usual, and some other things later on. So the first one, it's illegal to feed any wild animals. So like it's, legal to walk down the strip carrying an alcoholic beverage, and you can gamble, and you can get married like on a moment's notice. But since November 2017, you're threatened with a $1,000 fine or 6 months in jail for feeding a pigeon.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You're not allowed to lie down on the sidewalk either. In Reno, it's illegal to sit down or lie down on a public sidewalk. The law states no person shall sit or lie down on a public sidewalk or upon a blanket, chair, stool, or any other object placed upon a public sidewalk in the downtown Reno Regional Center.
This feels like anti-homelessness rhetoric.
This.
Mm-hmm.
It's illegal to swear on a public street in Las Vegas. It says you can't say anything vile, obscene, or profane on a public street, alley, or highway in the city. I feel like that's not enforced because I'm almost positive I dropped the F-bomb a million times the while
I don't know how it would be enforceable. That sounds like old days. Like an old days law.
Right. It says Nevada traffic violations are often misdemeanors. Nevada categorizes many of the driving offenses as misdemeanors. Even if the same thing would be a civil infraction in your home state, you might end up as a convicted criminal simply for violating a Nevada traffic law. If you're from out of town, violate one of Nevada's traffic laws and have professional license like an FINRA license, your failure to report this conviction can have severe consequences for your employment or professional license.
Yeah. Uber. Get an Uber or
That's
a
what we did.
taxi or whatever.
That's what we did. Nevada, even though Las Vegas is home to the world's most famous pawnbrokers, they have revised statutes the revised statutes has an entire chapter devoted to the activities of pawnbrokers. And, one of the weirdest ones is it prohibits a pawnbroker from accepting property from people who are intoxicated.
I get it, though. I get it, though, because it can be very predatory. I mean, that's even because is Pawn Stars based out of Vegas?
Yeah. It's right across the street from Zach Bagans' thing.
Nice. It's honestly probably because of shows like that. Because it's
everybody just wanting to be in on that.
Well, not even that, but it's obviously sometimes it's a little predatory.
Yeah.
And oh, well, this really isn't worth very much. But in reality.
This next one, it's kind of, I don't know that it's legal in other states, but I've seen it happen, and it's more of a respect thing. Funeral processions can run red lights in Nevada.
Yeah, I think they can here, but they have to have a police escort.
Right. It says Nevada law confusingly permits a vehicle escorting a funeral procession to go through a red light or stop sign after slowing down as necessary, exceed the posted speed limit by up to 15 miles per hour to overtake the procession, and direct traffic at the next intersection. So, if it's somebody that's stopping traffic at the light, they can speed around everybody to get ahead of them so they can stop everybody at the next intersection.
Yeah.
And they can disregard regulations on the direction of movement or turning when directing movement of the other vehicles in the procession. So they have to have some kind of visual or some type of thing that shows that they're part of it.
Yeah.
There's no lottery in Nevada. I did not know that.
That's crazy work.
Yeah. I also didn't know that there's not one in Alabama.
I feel like I did know that.
Anyway. May is Prehistoric Camel Preservation Month in Nevada.
Okay.
It actually designates May as Archaeological Awareness and Historic Preservation Month. However, the statute explains that part of the purpose of this month is recognizing the importance of specific historic, archaeological, and cultural sites in Nevada. Apparently, Tool Springs in southern Nevada is an area well known in the scientific community as one of the best. I don't even know how to say that word. Pleistocene.
I don't know. I'd have to see it.
Paleontological, God bless, sites in the western United States, and it's an area in which fossil remains of many extinct animals have been found, including ground sloths, mammoths, prehistoric horses, giant American lions, giant bison, llama, and American camels. Oh, here you go. This is for you.
Oh.
You can legally hoard cats in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah, brother.
A cat fancier, according to Las Vegas Municipal Code Section 7.04.140, is any person owning, keeping, or possessing on their property, provided such person has safe, adequate cages in a completely enclosed building on the property at one location, up to 6 adult cats for the purpose of showing in recognized cat shows or for improving the variety of breed in temperament or conformation to exhibit in shows or feline events, and must be entered in at least one cat show each calendar year.
Oh, wow. That's kind of crazy.
You're not allowed to hula hoop on Fremont Street.
Oh. Okay, then.
Yeah. And then let me move on to the next one. Might be the same. Nope. It's illegal to ride a camel on the highway.
Fair.
This regulation dates back to the 19th century when camels were used for transport and construction in the deserts. Camels were introduced to the area as part of an experimental U.S. Army project in the 1850s.
Okay. I was about to be like, why is there such a high camel?
I didn't see any camels over there.
High camel residency that warrants laws about camels.
Right. There's no spitting on sidewalks in downtown Las Vegas. You know what? Cool.
Yeah.
Unicycles are banned on Fremont Street.
Okay.
You can have a bicycle or a scooter, but not a unicycle. Toy cars are for sidewalks only. Apparently because there were accidents, including miniature vehicles on roads.
Mm.
This goes into that laws for the pawn shops. You can't pawn dentures in Las Vegas.
Okay. Reasonable.
Yeah. No shoe shining on Fremont Street without a permit.
Okay. I'd love to hear the backstory of some of these laws.
Right. And then this one doesn't have very many.
Because for the most part, it feels a little tax dollar wasting.
Right. In Elko, Nevada, everyone walking the streets is required to wear a mask. And that's all that one is. So you can go on to the next one.
Okay. This one had, there were two of my sources list two different people who built this home. However, what I'm using is the information from the actual website of the place. So, built in 1859 by George Hurst, the McKay Mansion is an authentic Victorian-era mansion and is one of the few original structures that has survived major fires and includes the original carpet, wallpaper, chandeliers, and more. George Hurst gained his fortune from the corresponding mine and sold the property to John McKay in 1871. Shortly after, John hit the Bonanza strike, one of the largest silver strikes in the history of the world, and he split the profits with his three partners, James Fair, James Flood, and William O'Brien, and they became known as the Big Four, or the Silver Kings of Virginia City. They conducted all of their mining business inside the McKay Mansion mining office, and Mr. McKay lived in the rest of the home with his family. Additionally, the mansion has become a very well-known haunted location and has been featured on Ghost Adventures and The Dead Files. And Johnny Depp even had a personal experience here. But I don't know what it was. That's all the website said was Johnny Depp had a personal experience here. I'd love to know more. Come on.
Right.
There are many phantoms said to be lurking within the walls of the mansion. A playful little girl, a lady of concern, and a stern colonel. You could catch a glimpse of her from the corner of your eye, a face framed by golden curls, illuminated by a ghostly flicker of candlelight. The child's spirit is often seen as having an eternal tea party with her favorite dolls arranged before her.
Aww.
Sightings of her often come with the sound of childish laughter, the sound of rustling petticoats.
Listen, that sounds cute as hell, but also terrifying as hell.
Oh yeah, because even with this house, my sister said it not too long ago. She was like, the creepiest thing about that house is the children that giggle at the end of the hallway.
We haven't heard.
And I'm like, I haven't heard it in a long time. I think it's the incense. I don't know, but I haven't really had a whole lot. It does get, like, I notice things, like, around, like, October, November-ish, and the, autumn equinox, but the rest of the year is pretty chill around here these days. Anyway, those who have turned to look at her have said that she evaporates into thin air, leaving nothing but a chill in the air and a slight pang in your chest. Next, the mansion is seemingly watched over by the specter of a lady who is full of concern. She prefers to remain in the solitude of an upstairs window with sightings of her looking down across the grounds of her home. On still nights, a figure framed against the eerie glow of the mansion has cast a flickering silhouette onto the lawn. Her presence has been called unsettling, as she has been known to express her displeasure with any changes to the mansion. This wrath is said to be manifested in frighteningly cold drafts that sweep the mansion at the mere discussion of changes. Another formidable spirit that resides in the mansion is simply known as the Colonel. He is also touchy when it comes to suggestions of the preservation of his eternal home. His ghostly form is often spotted storming through the mansion's hallways dressed in full military attire. It is said that any suggestion of redecoration is met with a thunderous roar of disapproval that resonates throughout the hallways of the mansion. His figure has also been captured on camera, glaring menacingly at unsuspecting visitors. In addition to these three specters, there is also a cacophony of whispers and voices that murmur throughout the mansion. Disembodied voices have been picked up by many curious visitors. Unlike many of the locations that we talk about, the McKay Mansion offers the ability to conduct your own paranormal investigations and they have a range of options on their website, and they put on a quote-unquote haunted house in October, which I thought was fun. So,
yeah.
That's the McKay Mansion.
Well, in Eureka, Nevada, it's illegal for men with mustaches to kiss women.
Oh.
This was dated back to like the 1800s, which apparently laws against facial hair were pretty common back then.
Yeah.
Most of them have been overturned, but this one's still on the books in Eureka. However, nice. I feel like it's probably not super enforced.
Yeah.
Going back to the one where everyone in Elko must wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
So the law states that anyone walking on the street must be wearing some sort of mask. And this is a law that dates back to the early 1900s. And it made sense then. So in 1918, there was a terrible Spanish influenza outbreak that hit Nevada and the rest of the country pretty hard. Yeah. And the mask law was put into place as a last-ditch effort to stop the epidemic.
Yeah.
So, which...
And just like 2020, there were people who were like, I'm not doing that.
Right. In Reno, it's illegal to place a bench or any other seat on a sidewalk or street without getting permission first.
Okay. I mean, I get it because
it's
not yours. That's
well, yes, but it's put in place to stop the homeless population.
Yeah, that too. Which is ironic considering you're a nonprofit for this.
Right. And then another strange law in Reno is that it's illegal to hide a spray-painted shopping cart in your basement. So there's no real like story behind it other than
because that's oddly specific. I mean, shopping, it is illegal to steal shopping carts.
Right, but like spray painting them was a way stores or individuals would try to steal them. Mm-hmm. So like I could see like a Walmart trying to steal carts from like a grocery store and spray painting them to match theirs. You see what I'm saying? But people were taking them to their basements and the law was put into place to stop that.
Yeah.
You can't... Hold on. That might be the last one I have. It is. Nope. You can hang someone for shooting your dog.
Oh.
In the 1800s, Nevada was largely considered the Wild West and dogs were more than just pets. Mm-hmm. They were used primarily for protecting herds of sheep and cattle, and harming a dog led to severe punishment. While dogs were working animals in the 1800s, they are primarily pets today. But if one does bite you, the injuries can be significant, and you should contact, somebody like a law agency or whatever. But like, you can, it's legal for you to retaliate, apparently.
Yeah.
So there's that. Go and continue.
All right, my next one is exciting.
Is this is number 3?
This is number 3.
Okay.
Built by American architect Martin Stern Jr. in 1969 as the International Hotel and later known as the Las Vegas Hilton, it became known as the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino in 2014. The Westgate has dodged the wrecking ball, and unlike many of its cohorts in Vegas, a lot of the old casinos have been demolished and built over. But the Westgate has been thriving for over 50 years. The site was previously home to the Las Vegas Park and Historic Racetrack, and in 1965, the 400-acre allotment was purchased by National Equities. At the time it was built, it was the tallest and largest hotel in Las Vegas, and that, coupled with the entire property, turned the global resort industry on its head with many revolutionary amenities. The Westgate upped the ante on the value of entertainment, and it was the first Vegas hotel to offer Broadway musicals and legitimate theater, and paved the way for the flamboyant productions that Vegas is so well known for. Apparently, the Westgate also holds the title of one of the most haunted hotels in Las Vegas. Many people think of the Westgate as the house that Elvis built. Presley debuted the first of... There's a couple of different sources. The first source said 636 sold-out shows over the course of 7 years, and other popular Las Vegas acts would follow, including Wayne Newton and Liberace. Elvis's final performance at the Westgate was in December of 1976, and he died just several months later in the summer of 1977. Friend of Elvis and fellow performer Wayne Newton got a call from the theater asking him to come and perform. However, he was hesitant due to him considering it to be Elvis's stage, and he knew he wouldn't be able to fill those shoes, but he took the job on anyway. A couple of months after the death of Elvis, Newton and his band created an Elvis medley to perform as a tribute to his late friend. Before an evening performance, Newton was informed by a crew member that the balcony would be closed that night. This wasn't out of the ordinary because performers are generally made aware of this so that they don't attempt to acknowledge a crowd that isn't there. Halfway through the show, Newton called for the Elvis medley, the first time it would be performed with an audience. When he sang, the theater lights fell, leaving one spotlight on Newton. Newton said that he was singing with the heat of the spotlight on his body, and he looked up to see how the crowd was reacting to the tribute, and glanced to the balcony and saw a man coming down onto it. He thought that was odd since he had been informed of the balcony's closure, but immediately recognized the man. He said it was Elvis himself looking down at him, making direct eye contact and smiling peacefully. Newton described this experience as one of the best of his life. Employees and visitors have all reported seeing Elvis's apparition on the casino floor and in the Tuscany suite, which is where the Elvis suite used to be. Elvis always had a group traveling with him, and they would all stay in the hotel with him after the show. Many people who have stayed in the villa since have reported the feeling of a presence in the room, and some have seen his apparition or heard his music drift through the area when there is no radio or TV on. Many have wondered why Elvis would stick around here for so long, but when you think about it, he performed his comeback show here and performed over, and this is where the differing number is. This one said 837 shows over the course of his tenure, and this place meant a lot to him. It is like we have talked about in our ghost hunting episodes, and I truly believe that we leave a bit of our essence in the places that we love the most, and when we go to meet the spirit in the sky or whatever, you believe, that energy just releases and is dispersed to those places for you to live, a little bit of you live, because there's no doubt that this man's not also at Graceland. If he's a ghost, he's at Graceland.
If he were dead, but he's not.
I don't know. I think he's dead.
I don't think so. I think he's living
I feel like,
in, what was it, Arkansas?
I don't know. I feel like the Presleys are a little bit cursed, if I'm being honest. I think that man is just really good at pretending to be Elvis. if I'm being honest. Anyway.
Where is he? Hold on, I'm looking it up.
I don't know.
Bob Joyce in
Yeah.
Arkansas, Benton, Arkansas. I'm telling you, that's him. It's unmistakable. Like, it's just...
I feel like he's just really good at pretending to be Elvis.
He pretends to not be.
Exactly.
I'm telling you. Elvis is not dead. What blows my mind, it seems like for us forever ago that Elvis was a thing.
Yeah.
That was my mom's first concert.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Can you imagine that being your first concert?
That'd
you get
cool.
to go your entire life and saying that your first concert was Elvis Presley, one of the greatest of the greats.
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, I can't... My first concert was either Spice Girls or Hank Williams Jr.
Yeah.
I can't remember which came first, but... So... Anyway, continue on.
Elvis might be the most famous permanent resident of the Westgate, but he is far from being the only one there. On February 10th, 1981, a major fire broke out in the luxury hotel when it was still the Hilton. A hotel busboy, Philip Klein, was under the influence of drugs and set fire to a curtain in the elevator lobby on the 8th floor of the East Tower. The fire spread quickly and claimed the lives of 8 and left 350 people injured. It took only about 25 minutes for the fire to reach the top of the tower, and it caused an estimated $10 million in damages. In 1982, Klein was convicted for arson and murder and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The hotel paid a $23 million settlement to the 8 families that died. Since then, visitors to the Westgate report strange happenings in their rooms and on one of the elevators. One longtime visitor reported a sighting that for her drives home the point that the Westgate is haunted. The visitor, who was there with her 2 young children and her sister in the springtime, anonymously reported that everything had been going well on their vacation and they were in the thick of it. They had a great time enjoying what Vegas has to offer, and after a full day, they retired back to their room for showers and some time to relax. While one of the women was in the shower, she saw the silhouette of a person outside the curtain. Assuming it was her sister, she ignored it until the water to the shower turned off. She thought there might be an issue with the spout and noticed a hand pulling out from the curtain as if someone had reached in and shut the water off. She ripped open the curtain, expecting to see one of the kids or her sister. However, the bathroom was empty. I'd be shitting bricks.
Yeah.
Later that night, one of the kids asked, "Can ghosts hurt you?" And one of the women asked why they were asking such a question, and he replied, "Because there is a man in the bathroom, but he disappeared, and I think he's a ghost." The family reported packing up and going to stay at another hotel. They were offered another room at no charge, but declined it, saying they refused to stay another night with the ghosts of the Westgate.
Oh.
And that's that. That's the Westgate.
Send your thing to the email. Do you have the gold nugget on there?
I don't.
Okay, so
I didn't send it because I have a good one for the end.
Okay. Well, when we went, I was thinking about it. First of all, you said that fire happened in like 1986-ish?
81.
81?
Yeah.
Hold on. And that it was $10 million in damages?
Yeah.
So if that's that time period, $35.6 million today.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Plus, they did $23 million settlement.
So $23 million?
Mm-hmm.
Is 80 to 90 million today.
Yeah. So that...
Well, over $100
million. Yeah, in today's money.
All because some dooflunk
got high. Crackhead, yeah.
Damn. Anyway, so I was thinking about, we stayed in a fairly updated, decent hotel when we went. I did, however, believe we went into the Golden Nugget while we were on Fremont Street, and just to go pee.
Yeah.
And so it had a whole different feel. than everywhere else that we went. But it is one of the oldest.
I was going to say,
casinos.
it's one of the older ones.
It was opened on your birthday in 1946.
Oh, nice.
It's been renovated several times since then, according to this, the most recently in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
But it had a different feel than everywhere else. But I don't remember ever going in anywhere that was like, I could just immediately, it was like, oh, this place is fuck.
Yeah.
But like,
no, it wasn't even on my list.
Okay. I didn't know.
Because I always like go, I
don't know of any stories. Like,
yeah. But no, whenever I make like whenever I do these episodes, I go and find like at least two lists of like some website that's got like the most haunted places in this state, whatever. And I write them down. And then I go for external sources and start looking for stories. I first search for the actual history, and then I do the haunted history. And I just highlight whatever, and then whenever we circle back around one day I'll have the rest of the list that I didn't do. And it's already...
One of my links I can no longer use.
No.
Oh my... Because it was a good one.
Oh, no. Would you like me to read the next one?
No.
While we're waiting?
Other stuff that I can do.
Okay. Pretty excited about the next two.
Anyway, so now I've got fun facts and possibly things that were invented.
Okay. I do have a fun fact. Okay. My grandparents were married in Nevada.
Nice.
They got married in Reno.
Nice.
And then years later found out it might not even been legal.
Oh, okay.
They were watching the news. Found out.
Okay. So because Nevada was created as a state during the Civil War, it's known as the battle-born state.
Okay.
In the 40s, it was the least populated state in America. However, establishing lenient divorce and gambling laws, it became a major tourist spot, and its population increased dramatically.
Mm-hmm.
The word Nevada is from the Spanish word nevado, meaning snowy mountains.
Okay.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
The discovery of silver in 1859 created a population boom and led to the creation of Nevada as a state.
Mm-hmm.
This one. Nevada is home to the Clown Motel.
Yeah.
The
that
only
was on
motel
my list
in the U.S. that is completely decorated in a clown motif. Miss me with all of that.
I think, did Adam the Woo go there? I know Carpetbagger has been there.
No.
But I'm almost certain, because there's also like a cemetery, like an old cemetery right across the way that's like supposed to be super haunted. It was on my list, the Clown Hotel. But it did not make the final cut for this episode. So we got an honorable mention.
Inventions from Nevada include blue jeans and video slot machines.
I feel like I did know about blue jeans.
The proper pronunciation is not Nevada, but Nevada.
Nevada?
Yeah, according to Nevadans. And the distinction is important. So, we've been saying it wrong this whole time. Nevada has the most named mountain ranges in the U.S. It has more...
I don't really think about Nevada being like a mountainous state.
It has more hot springs than any other state.
That makes sense.
With over 300.
Yeah.
The Hoover Dam attracts over 1 million visitors every year, and it irrigates more than 2 million acres and produces enough power to serve 1.3 million people each year.
The Hoover Dam is my next.
The Mob Museum chronicles the history of over 24 mafia families in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
It's home to nearly 1/2 of the nation's free-roaming horse population. I bet that would be amazing to see, just
wild Mustangs.
Wild horses.
Yeah. It's like wild Mustangs.
It was the first state to ratify the 15th Amendment, which prohibits state and federal governments from denying citizens the right to vote based on skin color or race.
Hell yeah, brother.
I'm not even going to read that because there's a bunch of words I can't pronounce that has stuff to do with fossils.
Oh. Somebody that listens to this that is really into fossils is pretty upset with you right now.
I'm sorry. Groom Lake, Nevada is home to the infamous Area 51. And the only way onto the base is via classified aircraft.
Yeah. I mean, there is a road into Area 51, but it's like heavily guarded.
Right. Hold on. I lost my spot. The Nevada-California border goes through the middle of Lake Tahoe. The Nevada side of the lake is usually more socially active, while the California side is more quiet and back to nature. Nevada is the only state where prostitution is legal.
Yeah.
Get your bag.
Yeah.
There's more casinos there than any other state.
You do have to have a permit, though.
Yeah. Montana comes in second with 170 casinos, Louisiana with 136, and Oklahoma with 109. But if you think about it, I don't know about Nevada, but like places like Oklahoma and possibly Louisiana, a lot of those are going to be found on like Indian areas. We did see, I think there was one, I think it was a casino that we passed going through to and from Disney, where that's like on Indian ground.
Yeah.
The only actual tomb people can visit at the Hoover Dam in Nevada belongs to a jet black dog. Is that on your thing?
No.
Beloved by all dam workers, the dog was accidentally run over in 1941. The workers built a memorial for the dog. In 1979, the memorial was removed after someone complained about the dog's name, which you guys look that up because I'm not saying it because I ain't trying to get canceled.
Yeah. I can imagine. You said it was a black dog?
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a 3-letter. It's shortened, but but then the locals complained that it was removed, so it was put back.
Yeah.
Valley of Fire is Nevada's oldest and largest state park. It is so named because its sandstone rocks glow red when the lighting is just right, and I bet that is gorgeous.
Yeah, that is cool.
Go ahead with your next one.
All right.
This next one I have will be my last one.
The Hoover Dam was constructed during the Great Depression and not only had a large monetary cost, but also a human cost. Officially, this is another one where the numbers are a little bit, so different sources say different things. Officially, 96 workers died during the construction, but many believe that the actual number is much higher, with dozens dying from illness as well. Built in 1935, the Hoover Dam was originally known as the Boulder Dam, and cities throughout Southern California, Arizona, and Nevada receive significant hydroelectric power and irrigation from the dam. In 1935, government officials told everyone in the town of St. Thomas, Nevada to evacuate because of the Hoover Dam. As the Hoover Dam began to rise, so did the waters of Lake Mead. When construction of the dam ended and Lake Mead settled, the town of St. Thomas was 60 feet underwater. There was no way to officially verify if everyone in town had evacuated in time.
My.
After almost 90 years, the water levels have receded due to drought, and a ghost town is now exposed. Since the initial flooding, parts of the town began to rise in the decades that followed. 1945, 1963, and 2012 offered glimpses of what remained of St. Thomas, but looks very different from when the last known resident of St. Thomas, Hugh Lord, paddled away in a canoe in 1938. As we have seen throughout history, there is often at least one person who either had nowhere else to go or purely out of anti-authoritarian pride is left behind in instances like this, and any person left behind under over 60 feet of water in Lake Mead would have plenty of reasons to haunt the dam. Between 1931 and 1935, around 112 people died during the construction of the dam, and legend has it that some of those that were killed fell into the concrete while pouring and are now permanently part of the dam itself, forever trapped inside. That's not unheard of. Like, I know of someone whose husband fell, like, into, as the concrete was being poured, fell into a concrete pillar of a bridge, and he's still there.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they just...
You'll be shocked when I tell you who it is. Anyway.
I gotta write it down so we don't forget.
Yeah. So, it is likely that these souls are the ones responsible for the paranormal activity that has been reported over the decades since the dam was completed. Visitors to the Hoover Dam often notice temperature drops in hallways and lights flickering. Sounds of dripping water, which is a sign of leakage, are heard, only for it to be discovered that everything is airtight and operating as it should. Workers at the dam have often reported that their tools will go missing, that equipment is tampered with, and that malfunctions will occur all about at the same time, like all within moments of each other. Not all of the spirits who rest at the bottom of Lake Mead or within the concrete walls of the dam are there unwillingly, though. Since 1935, it is estimated that over 100 people have jumped to their death from different parts of the Hoover Dam. Even the Hoover Dam bypass bridge is a frequent site for suicide attempts. It was free of attempts for the first year and a half, but over the course of the next 2 years, 5 individuals took their lives at this bridge. Apparitions of jumpers have been reported late at night walking across part of the dam, where cars are no longer allowed to travel. Workers are especially startled when spotting apparitions, particularly after hours when it's closed to the public and they're not allowed on the bridge. In addition to the spirits, there have been theories for many years that there are satanic connections to the dam, which I think stem from satanic panic sort of stories where it's like, oh, well, this must be... There's a long-standing theory that the Hoover Dam contains references to satanic ritual and that biblical text suggests that the dam's destruction will be the beginning of the end times. On May 8th, 2015, there was the image of a goat projected onto the mammoth structure. The goat was Hennies, the mascot of Cologne's football club, which is a German football, soccer team. The white goat stretched over 420,000 square feet on the dam's surface. But why would a German football team's mascot be projected onto the Hoover Dam? Allegedly, the reasoning behind this, which does make sense, was that a company tested a driverless truck near the dam, and the agency representing the truck company is German, and the agent representing the agency is a fan of the football team. But many people don't buy it and think that it's a sign of the end. It's part of the end times thing. When the waters have receded and the reservoir has dried, the rest of the world crumbles to dust, the Hoover Dam will likely still be standing. Baphomet himself could cross the Arizona-Nevada line to begin global destruction, and the ghosts of the dam could rise from beneath the waves, and the dam would not fall.
That's crazy. Damn.
I can't wait for my next one. It's hilarious.
All right. So, in 1859, the first major discovery of silver ore in the U.S. happened in Nevada. So back to the blue jeans. Jacob Davis. I don't know where John came from. Jacob Davis, who was a Reno-based Latvian tailor. He teamed up with Levi Strauss, and together they invented the first pair of blue jeans. Mm-hmm. The first round courthouse built in the U.S. was the Pershing County Courthouse, which is located in Lovelock, Nevada. It was built in 1920-21. The nation's first off-airport airline baggage check-in service opened in Las Vegas at the Imperial Palace, which has since been renamed the Link Hotel and Casino, which is where we stayed.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Nice.
I don't know of any baggage claim area that was there, to be real, but That's where we stayed. It was pretty nice. On March 1st of 1869, Nevada was the first state to ratify the 15th Amendment, which I already said, which this gave voting rights to African American men. Mm-hmm. On November 4th of 1870, Nevada produced the Great Train Robbery, the American West's first train robbery. Mm-hmm. Another dinosaur related. Nevada was the first and only state to discover a complete skeleton of an ichthyosaur. Mm-hmm. I think that's right. Which is an extinct marine reptile. In 1933, the first hard hats were produced in Nevada. They were invented specifically for the Hoover Dam workers. The first case in the U.S. for fingerprint conviction occurred in Nevada. Ben Cole, the culprit behind the 1916 Jar Bridge stage robbery, was the first murderer in American history convicted because of fingerprints. This dude looks shady as hell. I think it's got something to do with those cheekbones that's just doing it for me. That's the last one I got.
Okay. My last
one. I'm excited.
I called it an honorable mention because, well, you'll see. From thehauntedmuseum.com, it says, Zach Bagans developed a profound interest in the paranormal when he was just 10 years old, scouring nearby garage sales and working at his mother's antique shop.
I've already checked out.
In search of odd and spooky collectibles. In 2002, he had experienced a life-changing encounter in Trenton, Michigan, when the spirit of a woman made contact with him in his apartment. He would later learn a woman took her own life in his bathroom right before he moved in. This inspired him to make the Ghost Adventures original documentary in 2006. His fascination with the unusual evolved into a lifelong pursuit for answers about the afterlife. Not merely through the study of earthbound energy, but also through years of science-based research, using a multitude of specially engineered equipment to measure fluctuations in the environment, more specifically, to communicate with the dead. His series, Ghost Adventures, is the longest-running paranormal series in the world, and it's because he's a bully, and is currently airing on Discovery Channel and Max. Now, a pioneer in the paranormal field.
Don't give him that title.
He gave himself this title. I did not write this. Bagans this is all quoted. I've got the link. I've got it source, whatever. Now a pioneer in the paranormal field. Bagans is giving everyone a chance to experience the spine-chilling vibe of the spirit world at the new Zach Bagans, The Haunted Museum, located in downtown Las Vegas. Bagans has used the museum for various other TV series of his, including Ghost Adventures Live, Ghost Adventures Quarantine, Food Network's Halloween Wars, Deadly Possessions, and anthology series The Haunted Museum, produced by Zach and Eli Roth. I didn't know Eli Roth was friends with Zach Bagans. The 13,000 square foot property, built in 1938, was originally owned by prominent businessman Cyril S. That's all it says. Through the years, hostile spirits, family members who passed away there and whose energy remains, have been rumored to roam the halls, terrorizing past occupants. Dark rituals that took place in the home's basement during the 1970s were also verified by the home's past owners. Bagans describes his museum as the spirits of the mansion called to him to put this paranormal puzzle together. Waivers are mandatory due to the countless amounts of dark activity occurring with guests on a daily basis. Paranormal enthusiasts visiting Zach Bagans' The Haunted Museum venture down creepy, winding hallways and secret passages into more than 30 rooms that rival scenes from Hollywood horror films, setting the stage for frightening facts about each paranormal piece. Okay. Such as the Dybbuk box, known as the world's most haunted object. This vintage wine cabinet inspired the movie The Possession and is said to house a malicious spirit. Shortly following its arrival, mysterious protruding holes began to appear in the walls around the artifact as if something was trying to break out from within the exhibit. That feels a little dramatic. A Las Vegas marketing executive and Bagans both witnessed a black cloaked figure pass through the exhibit's closed door during a private tour. This has also been seen by multiple guests and staff at the museum.
Has it, though?
Among the hundreds of terrifying possessions, museum goers can even peek inside the VW death van in which Dr. Jack Kevorkian ended the suffering of terminally ill patients. The Museum of Death has a bunch of Kevorkian stuff as well. They had a whole case of it. Perhaps most unsettling is the original staircase from the Indiana Demon House that we have talked about, notorious for its powerful paranormal activity before being demolished in 2014. The wooden banister and creaky steps from the house now stand in a dimly lit corner, resting on a blanket of dirt from the location. During its installation, a group of construction workers ran out of the building and refused to ever come back. You can learn all about the Haunted Collection in the current series airing on the Travel Channel and streaming on PAX and Discovery Plus, The Haunted Museum. So, and this is where this is my little take. So, the website says it takes about just 2 hours to go through this museum, and it is $54 for general admission. The RIP All Access is $86, where you'll get an exclusive RIP badge and lanyard, a Haunted Museum t-shirt, and extended access on your tour, including off-limit areas. But seniors, locals, and military get a little bit of a discount. It's like $6. On MysteryLores.com, they said that there was a visitor who reported hearing about a doll that was well known for its dark background, which included a house fire and causing relationship issues for the previous owner. Visitors shared that Bagans instructed everyone to maintain positive thoughts while near the doll. Someone said, "Suddenly, I'm overcome with fear and sadness." There have been mixed reactions to the museum's collection, with some saying that they had varying emotional responses to different exhibits, and some saying that they were just fascinated with the history. One visitor said, "I keep an open mind about the paranormal, but honestly, didn't feel anything except fascination." And that was it.
Listen, I have a hard time believing anything that comes out of Zach Bagans' mouth.
Yeah.
Nothing about him strikes me as truthful
Hey,
in the slightest. I don't believe that man has ever had a paranormal experience in his life. I do believe. I will be honest with you. TJ said that the last time when he went to Vegas in November, he said they passed by there and he thought real hard about going. And I was like, I might have, as much as I hate this man.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to have a single penny of any
If
of
I had
money.
a gift card, I would use
I
it
want to go. I
yeah.
want to go just to see.
Yeah.
Also, I find it funny that you did this because I was sitting here earlier and you were reading and I was listening and I'm just kind of like pondering the room a little bit. And then I just like my eyes were drawn to his book. And I was like, I'm still really pissed that she has that book. So there's that.
$1.99.
Also, unrelated note, it was brought to my attention today while we're on the subject of like hauntings and unalivings and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was brought to my attention today and I did not know. Did you know that there have been a cluster of unaliving themselves at Disney lately in the past couple months, honestly?
No.
It was brought to my attention today.
Somebody recently, had a heart attack or something.
Yeah, people, there have been a ton of people die, but, there was one story that this person that told me about this had heard that, somebody, jumped off a balcony in one of the resorts, and, the people that worked at the hotel were, standing at people's doors and windows, keeping them in their rooms so that they couldn't see what happened.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
I had no idea. Anyway.
Can you imagine you go to Disney and then you leave traumatized?
Listen, if I was just done with my life and like was going to unalive myself,
I wouldn't go to Disney.
No, but
I would go to Disney, but I wouldn't do it at Disney.
If you're going to unalive yourself somewhere in hopes that that's where you're going to stay for the remainder of forever,
yeah,
Disney would be the place.
I mean, yeah, but
let me haunt Disney for the rest of my life.
I think honestly, just the sheer bad karma from that is not going to allow that to happen.
Well,
because I feel like that would rack up every bad karma point just because of the sheer number of children that would have to witness that.
And I feel like if Walt Disney is still hanging around and he has any say so, he'd be like, get out of here.
Yeah. Like, I feel like his spirit would hack up a lung because, he had a cigarette problem and get out of here.
And then you hear Mickey.
That was my Michael Jackson impression.
You heard the man. Get out of here. Anyway.
Oh, my God.
All right, guys. Well, that concludes this episode of Spooky Nevada.
Yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed it.
I did. I had a good time writing it. I put it off.
You had some good stuff.
Yeah, I was really excited. I didn't think about, like, the Hoover Dam.
Right.
That was pretty interesting.
Make sure that you're looking into our nonprofit of the month, which is National Alliance to End Homelessness, and they're just trying to find different ways of making homelessness not a thing anymore, which I think would be great.
Yeah.
Especially this time of year when it's cold.
Yeah. Or in some parts of the country, it's still hot.
Well,
so
yeah. But,
just remember, everybody is just like 3 or 4 bad decisions away from that.
Yeah.
So you're not immune.
So there's that. But while you're looking into that, you can find that link on our socials, like Facebook,
Instagram,
TikTok,
YouTube.
And if you have any suggestions or stories, or you just want to share something with us, maybe give us something to give you advice on, you can send that to our email address at wandersofweird@gmail.com. I would like to do an advice section.
Ooh.
That would be so much fun. We're not the best
like
at
a Dear Wanderers?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I would love that.
That would be so much fun.
Please. You can, and you just send it to us anonymously.
Yeah.
If you have I love that idea.
That would be
I would love a Dear Wanderers segment at the end of each episode.
So share us out and let us get that information. Like send us some stuff. Let us live that dream.
Yeah.
Let us live.
I'm going to have to start bullying. Like, I'm going to start bullying people and being like, hey, what would you want our advice on? It doesn't even have to be anything serious.
No. We're probably not the best people to give advice, but we're going to try, damn it.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a great time doing it.
Oh my God. Y'all better. I'm going to be so mad. Nobody ever emails us about anything. Please, I'm begging you. I need this.
What was it I said?
This would scratch an itch.
Are you wet just thinking about it?
Ew.
All right, guys. Okay, bye.
Bye.